My name is Darren Barrett, jazz trumpet player, EVI player, and I tell you what, if you pay me, I'll play anything. Arranger, composer, music educator. I'm here to introduce to you my new project called the EVI Sessions, Mr. Steiner, dedicated to electronic genius Nyle Steiner, the creator of the EWI, electronic wind instrument, and the EVI, which is this, the electronic valve instrument. So sit back and let me take you on a journey of this man's extraordinary life. And on the majority of the project, I am playing the EVI. Nyle is a classical trumpet player, and he has played with the Utah Symphony Orchestra. But he's always had a fascination with electronics, and he is a self-made electronics engineer. Now, with his love for the trumpet, with his love for music, and his love for electronics, he set out to make an electronic trumpet, and he started this in the late 60s. Now, in the early 70s, a prototype appeared, and here's a picture. In 1975, Nyle started a company with Dick Parker, and the first EVI was born, called the Steiner Parker EVI. Let's take a quick moment to go through how the EVI works. Here we go. A lot of people ask, well, how is sound achieved on the EVI? Is it like the trumpet? Well, on the trumpet, we have the trumpet mouthpiece. Now, I used to play with a French M, but now I play with a puckered embouchure. I changed it years ago with my teacher, William Fielder. So all I do is just form the puckered embouchure, put the mouthpiece up there, that's it. Now you achieve sound by blowing a steady stream of air on the mouthpiece, or you could call this the breath sensor. No buzzing is involved with the EVI. I have all these EVIs, but I will use this one. Okay, so this is the basic working of the EVI. We have the three valves here, 1, 2, 3. We have pitch up, woo, pitch down, woo. And we have the modulation here, woo. And we have the octaves, which are achieved by this apparatus down here that rolls around, and there's 7 octaves. The EVI valve system is very similar to the trumpet. With the older EVIs, the valves press down like this one. With the newer EVIs, they are all touch sensitive. Now it takes a little getting used to, but like anything, with a little practice, you'll be totally fine. Now let's go through the different EVI models and briefly discuss how they evolved over the years through Nyle's tireless work. Some EVIs, such as the Steiner Parker, use CV, which stands for control voltage. With control voltage, direct electrical signals are sent to a sound creating device to control volume, brightness, and pitch, and so on. Because it is a direct voltage signal, it is far more smoother than the modern digital signals and can bring warmer, smoother expression to the sound. The synthesizer that is used with the Steiner Parker EVI is called the Microcon, and it was designed by Nyle. It is 100% analog synthesis. In 1980, Nyle started a new relationship with an Italian company called Krumar, and the Steiner Krumar EVI was born. Out of all the EVIs, the Krumar is my favorite. The setup is very similar to the Steiner Parker, but the sound engine was built into a little case shown in this picture. The sound engine sounds incredible, and I love the flat plate mouthpiece or breath sensor. As I explained earlier about my puckered embouchure, this Krumar EVI, or this installment of the EVI, is most compatible for me with my trumpet embouchure. This is my Schilke X3, by the way. In 1980, Nyle won the prestigious Lynch Prize for his EVI invention. In the late 70s, going into the early 80s, Nyle was doing a lot of motion picture soundtracks in Los Angeles. He is credited on playing on many great films, including Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. Now around the mid-80s, there was a lot of interest from saxophone players for Nyle to build an EVI version for the saxophone, and the EWI electronic wind instrument was born. Sax legend Michael Berklee contacted Nyle to make him an EWI, and Nyle agreed. Michael took this new instrument to the highest level of artistry. You can hear his work with this instrument with the band that he had in the 80s called Steps Ahead. The EVI that I have in my hands is called the Steinerphone EVI. Nyle made a limited number of these between 1984 and 1985. This is the same generation that Michael played in the mid-80s called the Steinerphone EWI. These Steinerphones were all CV based with a twist. He was able to implement a new protocol entitled MIDI. Now, what does MIDI stand for? It stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. This is a MIDI chord. This right here is a MIDI port. MIDI is a protocol for electronic instruments to send digital information of a performance to a device that makes the sound. It's universal, so many different instruments, keyboards, drum pads, wind controllers can send played expression to many sound generators or computers, even if they were not originally made to be played by specific instrument types. For the wind controller, MIDI was a great thing, because now that means any wind controller with MIDI can play any other device, sound making device, with MIDI. So pretty much, as a wind controller player, we could sound like anything. Awesome. In 1987, Nyle started working with the Japanese company Akai, and the EVI 1000 and the EWI 1000 were born. These beautiful instruments were controllers for the Akai EWV 2000 sound module, which was an analog sound module that sounds incredible. The EVI 1000 was discontinued in 1990, but the EWI is still in production to this day. In 1998, Niles made the first MIDI wind controller called the MIDI EVI. Now, with the MIDI EVI, there's a MIDI port built right on the back, so you could just plug right into any MIDI-enabled keyboard, drum machine, anything with MIDI, and control it using this. It's powered by a 9-volt battery, and it has the ability to play octaves, you could play intervals, and you could play chords. This is a really awesome controller. This is the MIDI EVI. There are new versions of the EVI and the EWI being built by Johan Berglund of Berglund Instruments in Sweden. He is an electronics expert, an instrument builder, and just a really fantastic person. He has come into the wind controller community and built these instruments and really listened to our needs and did his best to implement what we were asking for, and has come up with some great new instruments. The first instrument he built is called the new EVI, that's NUEVI, which is similar to Nyle's MIDI EVI, but he has updated it, and there's a lot of new technologies that he implemented into the new EVI. Now the new EVI comes with two different mouthpieces. The regular mouthpiece, showed in this picture, that we could call the MIDI EVI mouthpiece or the bite sensor mouthpiece, and also it comes with this mouthpiece. And this is the new EVI, which is a Krumar style mouthpiece with a flat plate. Now, I had requested this mouthpiece because, as I explained earlier, it's better for my embouchure. So we call this mouthpiece the Krumar DB option, which is awesome that we have these two different style mouthpieces for wind control players. In 2004, saxophonist Michael Brecker approached Nyle to make a new EWI. Nyle created a side-by-side MIDI EWI, which he called the RAD EWI. The design is based on Nyle's MIDI EVI. Later on in 2004, Nyle developed another prototype for Michael of the MIDI EWI. This time, the keys were more like a soprano saxophone that went straight down instead of the older prototype that was side by side. The second prototype of the RAD EWI will become the first prototype for the Akai EWI 4000S. Johan Bergland of Bergland Instruments is currently finishing up production of a new EWI, which he calls the new RAD. It's based off of Nyle's RAD MIDI EWI. And now, saxophone players, let me tell you, it's absolutely bananas. You need to check it out. Don't sleep on this. It's incredible. That's all I'll say. I'd like to thank Mark Steiner. He is the nephew of Nyle Steiner, and he is my teacher in regards to the EVI and modular systems, and he really helped me tremendously through the process of preparing for the EVI Sessions, Mr. Steiner. So Mark, thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Matt Traum of Patchman Music. Matt is the go-to person in the United States for all things wind controller related. If you have any problems or you need repairs, or if you're looking for sound banks for your keyboards in regards to the wind controller, or just history of the instrument, he's the go-to person. Thank you, Matt, for all your help. To the man of the hour, Mr. Nyle Steiner. Thank you so much for having such an open mind to create these, the EVI and the EWI. Wait a second. You didn't think I had an EWI? I got an EWI. Hey, I'm into this wind controller thing. It just gives horn players another sound, another way to hear music and create music. Just endless sonic possibilities. So we really appreciate this. And I appreciate you being such a great friend to me, DB, and DB Studios. The EVI Sessions, Mr. Steiner, is for you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation of the life of synthesis guru and electronics guru Nyle Steiner, the inventor of the EVI and the EWI. Please go check out the project the EVI Sessions, Mr. Steiner dedicated to this genius. It was a really fun record to make, and all the musicians really put their best foot forward in honor of Mr. Steiner. And it was such a great honor to have the awesome Kenny Garrett, the awesome Kurt Rosenwinkel, and the awesome Noah Preminger as special guests. You could hear it on all streaming platforms. It's called the EVI Sessions, Mr. Steiner, or you could download it at CD Baby. Thank you so much for watching.